Howdy, everyone. Let me ask you a question. Imagine you're on a blind date. You're sitting in a gorgeous Italian restaurant. The food is amazing, and the view is incredible. And for once, the date is actually going really well. Then your phone buzzes. A stranger starts sending you messages. They tell you they're watching you, and if you don't do exactly what they say, your son dies. That's the premise of the 2025 psychological thriller Drop. And from the very beginning, it makes one thing clear: you are never allowed to relax. I'm Nikki, and this is the Fractured Lens HQ. The movie wastes no time getting to the point of things. It opens with a woman lying at the bottom of a staircase, badly beaten. The camera stays low to the floor as a man slowly walks down the stairs towards her. We never get a clear look at him because he's almost completely hidden in shadow, which somehow makes him even more terrifying. When he reaches her, he kicks her as she desperately tries to crawl away. She makes it to the fireplace, turns to face him, and he's screaming at her before forcing a gun into her hand. His only words are, "Pull the trigger," which is said in a loud and a very hostile tone. And just as we're trying to figure out what's happening, the movie cuts away. Now we're introduced to Violet. She's a single mother getting ready for her first date in a long time, while her sister Jen watches her son, Toby. Everything about these scenes feel comforting. The lighting is warm, the conversations feel natural, and that's exactly what makes what's coming so effective. The movie gives you just enough time to relax before it pulls the rug from under your feet. But because of that opening scene, you're constantly waiting for everything to fall apart, and it doesn't take long. Violet arrives at Palais, this upscale Italian restaurant overlooking the Chicago skyline. She's early, so she goes to the bar and orders a drink, chats with the bartender, and everything feels normal. It's the perfect calm right before the storm. Then her phone buzzes. She receives a picture of a creepy doll surrounded by flames with a simple message: "Want to have some fun?" She ignores it, assuming it's some random prank. But then another message arrives asking her to choose between the best night of her life or the worst. Suddenly, everyone in the restaurant looks suspicious. People are looking at their phones. Someone has to be sending these messages. The question is, who? Right as Violet's anxiety starts to build, her date finally arrives, and she feels a little at ease. His name is Henry. He's funny, charming, and surprisingly easy to talk to. The chemistry between them feels genuine, and as a viewer, you're really hoping this night somehow works out. They order dinner, joke with their waiter, Ryan, and for a few minutes, everything settles down. Then her phone buzzes, and that's when the real horror begins. The messages start to become much more demanding. At first, they're strange, then they're cruel. The sender starts ordering Violet to do things around the restaurant, almost like they're testing how far she's willing to go. Henry initially thinks someone is pulling an elaborate prank, but once the threats become personal, even he realizes something is seriously wrong. He looks around the restaurant trying to spot whoever's responsible. But the problem is, everyone is looking at their phones. Anyone could be watching. Then comes the moment that changes everything. The sender orders Violet to open up her home security camera. When she does, she sees a masked man inside her house. He's armed. The rules couldn't be clearer. Call the police, and her son dies. Leave the restaurant, and her son dies. She doesn't have a choice anymore. She has to stay. She has to smile. And she has to pretend she's enjoying her date while she's secretly trying to save her son. At one point, Violet slips away to the restroom, hoping she can finally call for help. Almost immediately, another message arrives. The sender knows exactly where she is. That's when she discovers a hidden microphone in the bathroom. It's a chilling moment because she realizes she's not just being texted, she's being watched. Every move she makes, every word she says. From that point on, the tension barely lets up. The sender eventually forces Violet to steal Henry's SD card from his camera and destroy it. She doesn't know why, but she does it because protecting her son is all that matters. Then the movie throws another twist. The waitress casually mentions that Henry specifically requested their table. Henry insists he never did. Now us and Violet are left wondering, is Henry another victim, or has he been lying from the very beginning? That's where the mystery really takes over. From that point on, every conversation, every glance, and every decision feels important because Violet honestly doesn't know if Henry can be trusted. One thing I really appreciated about Drop is how it plays with the idea of choice. Violet is constantly given options, but none of them are actually choices. Every path leads to another impossible decision, which makes you feel just as trapped as Violet does. The movie also turns our phones into the biggest source of fear. They're supposed to keep us connected, but here they're used for surveillance, manipulation, and the complete psychological control. And because the villain stays hidden for much of the film, your imagination ends up doing a lot of work. Sometimes what you can't see is far scarier than what you can. If you were in Violet's shoes, would you do as Violet did by following the messages, or would you take drastic measures on your own to try to save your son? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on the entire movie if you have seen it. And for those that haven't seen it, I hope this review encourages, not really encourages you, but I hope this review makes you want to see the film. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you stopping by and listening to my mouth run. If you enjoyed the review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the episode. I'll be back next week with another movie that keeps us guessing. Until then, maybe pay a little more attention to your phone notifications. I'm Nikki, and you've been listening to the Fractured Lens HQ. I wish everyone a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening. It depends on where you are. Ciao.